Seekers, I'm Nick. Have you ever wanted a mechanical keyboard that allows you to use any key switches that you want at a fairly reasonable price? A keyboard that makes it easy to do it and doesn't require you to desolder keys from a PCB or use some janky method to switch them out? Well, I think we might have the answer to all of those questions and more with some interesting new keyboards from Tecware. In this video, we're going to take a closer look at two brand new keyboards, the Phantom RGB full size and the 10 keyless keyboards that allow you to do just that. Use any switch type you like, even allowing you to mix and match them and do it quickly and easily. What a time to be alive. I'm going to start off by saying that I'm well aware there are other keyboards that allow you to change the switches. This video isn't about those keyboards. It's not a new thing at all, but the ability to do it cheaply and easily without it burning a giant hole in your pocket is a whole different story. Let's check out what you get in the box with these keyboards. You don't get much with them, all right? There's not that much. It's pretty decently packaged. You get the keyboard itself, which has a key removal tool attached to the underside of the keyboard. Inside the box, there's also 4 included replacement switches and a switch removal tool, which is slightly different to the key removal tool. The overall design and construction is pretty good with both of these keyboards, and it feels like they put a lot of consideration into the ergonomics, since the deck itself has more of a pronounced concave than some of the other keyboards that I've used lately. The included cable is not removable, but in this instance, I feel like they did it as a cost-saving measure, which I'm okay with because it's a keyboard with swappable switches. The cable is approximately 1.8 meters or around 6 feet for you Imperial folk, and yeah, I think that's a pretty decent length, and also it's like a braided fabric cable, which is also nice too. The top side of the deck is made from what I can tell is aluminium, since the keyboard is pretty light. I'm only guessing though because I'm no expert and that's what it appears to be. And there's no deck flex at all, which is pretty nice too, and it's really nice to type on. The versions I have are the Automo Red switches on the 10 keyless and the Automo Blue on the full size deck. As far as switches go, they feel pretty similar to the Cherry MX Red and Blue switches, with slightly more actuation force required. Both require around 5 grams more than their Cherry counterparts, but I feel as though you'd be right at home with them because they're just so similar. All right, let's get straight to the part you guys are most interested in, removing the switches. It's pretty straightforward. All you need to do is remove the keycap with the keycap removal tool and use the key switch removal tool and grab the top and bottom of the switch and pull up. It's pretty easy. And then yeah, all you need to do is line the new switch up with the 3 holes and push it in. It's pretty straightforward. One thing you'll also notice when doing this is the LEDs for the key illumination are on the PCB itself, so you don't need to worry about that per key lighting. It's always there regardless of the switch type that you choose. I would love to have tested these keyboards with some other switches like Cherry MX Reds or Browns, but unfortunately I don't have any other switches to test these with. You can mix and match the switch types as well if that's your jam. For instance, when I was playing around with the 10 keyless, I switched the directional keys from red to blue switches. You can also mix between the Automo and Cherry switches or Gateron or whatever key basically uses the same switch stems. As far as software for lighting and macros and all of the things you possibly wanted to do to customize your Phantom RGB, the software is pretty basic. It'll allow you to configure the lighting and macros and basically do whatever normal keyboard software does. However, you can also control the RGB on the keyboard without using software by pressing a combination of the function key and the plus key that's next to the backspace key on the keyboard. Does that make sense? Well, you're going to see it anyway, let's be honest. There's no physical media keys, however the function keys along with a combo of a key press can control all of your media stuff pretty easily. It's pretty standard with keyboards that are in this price range, so there's no surprises there at all for me. Instead of dedicated media keys, they are combined with pressing the function key and the F5 to F11 keys on both of the keyboards. I want to talk about my experience using these keyboards for my purposes because some of you guys might look at the same things that I look for in keyboards. As far as typing on it and script writing, because that's mainly what I use my keyboards for these days, they feel pretty good. Although the blue switches on the full-size keyboard, they're just not my thing. They're too loud for my personal taste, and I personally don't like the feel of blue switches, which is why I would pick brown or red over blue switches any day of the week. But you know, that's just my opinion. You're allowed to like things as well. Okay, so what don't I like about this keyboard? Well, Again, this is more of a personal preference thing than anything, and if I'm being brutally honest, I don't like the font on the keys. It takes away from everything else that I like about the keyboard. I know what the keys are on the keyboard, let's be honest, but for people who don't know what they are, let's use the O key for instance. You could mistake it for a pair of parentheses keys, and the print on the number keys, it feels a little bit absent. If that doesn't bother you, then I think these keyboards are both pretty good. You can pick up either of the Tecware Phantom RGB keyboards for around $45 to $50 US on Amazon at the time of filming this video. I think $45 to $50 for a keyboard that has swappable key switches, that's pretty good value in my eyes. If you wanted to grab either of these keyboards, there are links in the description. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. If you didn't like this video, you know what to do, and tell us what you hated about it. Once again, thank you so very much for watching. I'm your boy Nick with Gear Seekers. You peek, we seek. And yeah, the keyboards are quite nice, but the font, it just gets me every time. I like a nice clean font. Thanks for watching.